your cards, your messages, your text messages, Facebook messages, and she said to tell everyone she's sorry if she's not personally responded to each one of you. It's been a pretty tough time for her family. Those of you that don't know, her brother Steve has, never been diagnosed with autism, but he's autistic. Been from when he was born, they were told, he's probably not going to live to his first birthday. So, prepared the family for that. But he lived 66 years beyond his first birthday, and he, if you ever met Steve, he was probably one of the most special guys you'll ever meet in your life. He was always happy, glad to see you, and so anyway, it was sudden, completely unexpected. So it's been really tough on them. Dajunna's still down there with her mom and probably be there the rest of this week at least. And I just wanted to be back home with my church family. I needed to be with you guys. And for those of you that did travel down, you'll never know what it meant to Dajunna to see your face, to see your presence, and so thank you. It's times like this when you really realize how precious you guys are, and it's funny. And I don't want to go too long this morning, but I do want to thank you. And even the little things that you don't. Last night I was coming home, and this morning driving down to church, I thought, man, I wish I would have called Cassie and asked her to sing Oceans this morning, because I just needed to hear that song. And we got to church, and Cassie had replaced a song last night about 9 o'clock. She said to sing that song, and so it's hard for me to play without sitting up there crying this morning, because that's just how God knows what we need when we need it. He gives us what we need right when we need it. And I told some this morning when I got up headed to church, I didn't realize how exhausted I was till I got up headed to church. And yesterday I was texting Scott, and I said, hey man, if you need me to, I'll be there in the morning. I'll go ahead and speak. And he said, no, I really feel like God wants me to. And man, I'm glad you said that yesterday, because now, but many were asking me, and they said, well, what are you going to do for church tomorrow? And I said, you know what? And I know people get sick of hearing me talk about this church. I mean, I know when they see me, they're going, all right, here we go. We're going to have to listen about Faith Community Church for the next 30 minutes. And but I'm telling you guys, I can't talk enough about what God's doing here, and what I'm allowed to just be a part of. And even this morning, I told someone, I said, you know what? I got my third string guy going to cover for me Sunday morning. And they're like, who? I said, not my youth pastor, but now I got another guy that I've watched him from a lime green T-shirt out at OCC to being a guy I really lean on, and it's the only thing I wish Fred was here. And he stood at that door many Sunday mornings, going, man, I wish one of those guys would show up, and to see the fruits of going out there at OCC and all the evenings of carrying that stuff out and going, man, is it really making a difference? Are we really reaching anyone? Are we really doing anything? And man, if it's just Scott and Christy, then man, it's been worth it. And so I knew Scott was going to speak this morning, not for me, but for God. And I couldn't stand the thought of not being here. It was eating me up. Finally, I asked the one. I said, "You think it'd be all right if I go to church in the morning?" And she said, "Yeah, I think that's where you need to be." I said, all right, well, I'm gone. Thankfully, Corey drove, and I slept most of the way home, or tried to. When I would look up and realize how fast we were driving.